My professor accused me of using AI when I wrote the paper by hand in front of them. I had this English professor who was convinced every single student was secretly running a black market essay ring from their dorm rooms. I turned in my essay 2 days early. A full 10 pages analyzing symbolism in some depressing novel. Nobody asked to read twice. I was actually proud of it for once. 2 days later, she emails me at 11 p.m. like a villain in a thriller. We need to have a conversation. I walked into her office the next morning and she was sitting there with my paper printed out. Covered in so much red ink it looked like a crime scene. She slid it across the desk like evidence and said, "I know you used AI." I blinked. "Excuse me, what?" She leaned back in her chair, arms crossed, looking smug as hell. "Your writing is too sophisticated for a student." "Ma'am, that is literally just an insult with extra steps." I told her I wrote every single word myself. I pulled up my Google Docs drafts, my messy notes, my browser history showing I Googled what symbolism even means at 2 a.m. She wasn't having it. She said I had one chance to prove myself. I had to rewrite the entire essay, by hand, in front of her, in her office, or I'd get a 0 and be reported for academic dishonesty. So I did it. I sat in that woman's office for 4 straight hours, writing this essay by hand like I was trapped in a Victorian punishment ritual. My hand was cramping so bad I thought my fingers were going to file for workers' comp. I missed lunch. I missed my next class. The whole time, she just sat there staring at me like a prison warden, making sure I wasn't smuggling in contraband sentences. I finished it, handed it over, and watched her read through the whole thing in silence. She put it down, looked at me, and said, "This still doesn't seem like your writing." "I'm sorry." "What?" "I literally just wrote it in front of you while you watched me like a haunted painting." She said I must have memorized an AI-generated essay, and that there was no way I was actually this good at writing. At that point, I wasn't even mad anymore. I was impressed by the sheer commitment to delusion. She gave me a C on the essay, said she couldn't prove it but knew something was off. From that point on, every single assignment I turned in got torn apart like she was searching for Zodiac Killer coded messages. She made me do oral presentations on my own essays just to make sure I understood my own work. I had to stand in front of the class and explain why I used a semicolon on page 3. One time she asked me to define a word I used, and when I did, she said, "That's exactly what AI would say." "Ma'am, it's also what a dictionary would say." I finally went to the department head with all my drafts, my notes, my browser history, and a printed timeline of my mental breakdowns. They listened. Turns out, she'd been doing this to multiple students all semester. The department was already investigating her. She got put on academic probation. I got my grade changed to an A, and the best part? She had to write a formal apology letter, which I'm 90% sure she used AI to generate.